Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 76th Hunger Games! The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 stars Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Julianne Moore, Philip Seymour Hoffman. You should know by now who it stars, okay? This is the fourth film, and possibly the final. Probably the final. I remember, it should be the final. I remember hearing somewhere that they might be making more. And part of me's hoping they don't. Because none of them have managed to live up to Catching Fire. I played Ten Bruges there, but I don't care. It's now Catching Fire. None of them have lived up to it. If you saw my review for part 1, you know, I pretty much enjoyed it. So here we go, straight on to part 2. And it instantly starts up straight where the first part left off, which is always good. It works, okay? The one thing that I always have a problem with is with part 1 and part 2, when they split the second part. When they get to the second part, and it starts up again, and it starts from a really slow pace, and it has to build up the momentum again. Whereas this one I feel just went where it is. And it's one of the reasons why I absolutely love Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Because the first one builds up the tension, and the second one obviously expects you've seen the previous one, and just continues straight up where it keeps building the tension. It opens with an amazing action scene, keeps going. So at this point, right, here's the finale, you know what's happening. Yeah. This one does really well with that. Oh my god, this film has tried so hard to be in our Twilight. I am not joking, the love triangle became like the main focus like 50 times in the film, and I'm one of the people that kind of actually quite enjoyed what they were doing with the love triangle in the first two, because one of them was played for survival in the media, and I really liked that idea, and then the second one was an actual love story. So, but then they're obviously out of the games, they're no longer playing for the media. Peeta's was captured, and Katniss is all of a sudden inexplicably like obsessed with him. I think this was genuinely just for the fans that were going, I want Katniss to be with Peeta, I want Katniss to be with Gale, who's better? Oh, I don't know. Like, they were bringing in like the Twilight crowd, which here's the thing, here's the problem I think, because before Mockingjay, I really was starting to get on board with it. Catching Fire blew me away. I did not expect how good Catching Fire was going to be, and it really made the Hunger Games popular. The Hunger Games then became referred to after Catching Fire as like the good version of Twilight, which I don't think it should have been, because then I think the filmmakers were like, oh god, we're getting compared to Twilight, that means we've changed our audience. Quickly, love triangle, love triangle, love triangle. Liam Hemsworth, Josh Hutcherson and Jennifer Lawrence are all really good actors, and they are friends in real life and all that sort of stuff. They don't have that chemistry between them that makes you buy into the love triangle at all. Plus that, the love triangle is incredibly stupid. Some of it, like Gale, all his son and his, like, he has no, I don't even know what's going on with him. He seems like some psychopath. At times he's just like, no, let's I want Peeta dead because he needs to die, because that way Katniss will love me. And I'm like thinking to myself, what is going on at this point? Why is this becoming the main focus? And he says some really stupid stuff. He says to Katniss at one point in the film that he wants Peeta to fall in love with her, so that she can then move on from loving. He says this to her face as if like she's a and then the scene gets worse, because then for some reason Katniss kisses him, and then Hemsworth then turns around and he's just Gale, Liam Hemsworth and Gale, he turns around and he's just like, it's like kissing a drunk person, it doesn't count. It's like, you just said that she was. What am I watching? I loved the idea of what the Capitol was doing, and the big assault. You see it in the trailers, the Capitol is set up like tons of... It's basically tried to make the assault on the Capitol a game. Like, it's the 76th Hunger Games, basically. And that is an amazing idea. Because this is what Hunger Games is about. It's not about Gale and Peeta. Okay? It's not about them. It's not about who Katniss goes out with. It is about an oppressive government that instead of like the 1984 stuff or V for Vendetta that's just really oppressive, the government basically in this film, in this series, makes a game out of killing, out of sacrifice. And it's really smart. And then it gets undermined by this love triangle. I sound like this is the main problem, and it's because it is one of the main problems with the Mockingjay films. Because both of them all of a sudden start focusing on this love triangle, which never really existed at all. I remember after Hunger Games, when folks started talking about the love triangle, I was just like, is there a love triangle? I didn't even know. Catching Fire, they're bringing up the love triangle again. I'm like, nah, I still don't see a love triangle. There's no love triangle going on. It's one's played for the cameras. Fair enough, Peeta's getting like the wrong end, but you kind of feel sorry for Peeta in that situation. He's like, he's super friend-zoned, but then he has to act like he's not for the cameras. And yeah, that sort of, it's not really a love triangle because Peeta even knows himself that it's fake, and she knows that he knows that she doesn't care for him that like in that way. It's more like a friend or something like that, or more someone that needs to be protected. And it's not until the end Catching Fire in which something starts happening between them, but it's, you never really get the feeling that this is gonna change much. Like, it's not gonna go crazy, because even Gale understood. I think even Gale, if Gale had common sense, he would realise, okay, why am I putting so much thought into the love triangle, which I hate? Finnick is barely in the film. Now, Finnick is one of my favourite characters from Catching Fire, and he's not in the film at all. I don't know how they managed to take one of the most charismatic and interesting characters in the Hunger Games entire franchise and just have him in the background. He is in the film for most of the runtime. He is like there a lot of the time, but he doesn't speak at all. He loses all finickiness. He's constantly in the background, and I'm not meaning like he's and the characters, like the characters are all speaking and Finnick's just standing there. He is literally in the background, out of focus for most of the film. And I don't know how. Why would they do this? I feel like they really wasted the character, because they had him, it was amazing in Catching Fire. And in Mockingjay Part 1, he's just sitting there crying for the entire film. I'm not joking, he is crying there for the entire film until like the last 10 minutes, in which he has a really cool moment. A really badass moment in which he's talking about how Snow's evil and like all that sort of stuff. He's really destroying Snow, and that was brilliant. But then they're like, no, they really did not want Finnick in this film. I don't know. I feel like there must have been some sort of like fan fiction or something written about him and Katniss, and they're just like, nah, we need to focus on this love triangle. There we go, back to the love triangle again. This is honestly, like, the way this review is working, it is how this film is going. How the Mockingjay films go. They focus on important stuff to do with the story, and then, whoop, back to the love triangle. Important stuff with the story, oh, back to the love triangle. They just keep doing it, and it really irritates me. And then the worst thing is, they even make a fool of the love triangle at one point. There's one line that just destroys the whole love triangle subplot. And like, you should be proud of them, because they're like, oh, they're making a fool of the love triangle. But then you realise that they spend half the film doing the love triangle storyline. So it's like, are you trying to be self-aware, or are you just making a fool of yourself? Or are you trying to get all of the people that hate this love triangle's approval by saying that it's not relevant? So you're wasting your time. They're essentially saying, yeah, we wasted your time. It blew my mind when they done that, because I was just like, oh, they made a fool of the love triangle scene. Wait, they had it for half the film. Why are they doing this? Are they going back on it? Have they realised how bad it is or something like that? And don't get me started on this truth or real or not real thing. It seriously sounds like one of those BBC Radio 1 game shows. I don't know if any of you in the UK have watched it. It's okay at the start, right? It makes sense for Peter's character when he does the whole real or no real thing, but he keeps going on with it to like the point in which you're just like, please stop playing this game. It's not even. It's out of character now, the amount of times you're doing it. Quite a lot of these characters they bring in have no place in the film. We get Natalie Dormer's character, who I actually can't remember, because she's barely in the film. Like Finnick, she is in the background most of the film. You have so many characters, but it's like they have too many characters, so they just put them all in the background, and then focus on Katniss, Peter, and Gale. The love triangle. Again, this is what I mean. There's so much love triangle stuff. So what else? Well, I should probably talk about the positives. This, like, the capitals, like the assault on the Capitol is brilliant, and I've already said that. But all the game moments are really interesting, really intense, and this is what the Hunger Games is best at. Until they walk on to the set Maze Runner Scorch Trials, which I kind of feel like they did at one point. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It came out of nowhere. They did not explain anything at all. Where this film escalates is the political side. And I don't care what anyone said about the first part. Said it was boring or anything like that. I loved the first part for all the political thriller elements of it. And it keeps with us. At the end, this film goes super dark and really makes this whole political ideology and stuff like that really come to clash. And you are left with a rather uncertain ending. You're never entirely sure. And considering how much a love triangle focused film this is, it really caught me off guard how smart the ending was. How brutal it was. It was really well done. The ending was brilliant until it decides to go Lord of the Rings on us. Yeah. It goes Lord of the Rings on us. Return of the King. It fades to black. You're thinking, oh, okay, that was not bad. Go to get up. Oh, no, we got another scene. Fades to black again. Oh, no, we got another scene. Right, what is the point in this scene? The last scene had no relevance whatsoever. It was so pointless. And so unnecessary for an unnecessarily long film as it is. I feel that if they cut out quite a lot of this film, they could have had it as one film and it would have been amazing. But instead we get this overlong, love triangle focused film. And it's two films focused on a love triangle. A love triangle that was barely there in the first two films. And it just doesn't work. President Snow I absolutely love. That is amazing. Just the character is really interesting. And they don't go. I like what they do with him. They never fully turn him into a villain, which I always like. They never say, right, okay, this is the bad guy, he kills kids, he's evil, but he's not. You always get the feeling that there's something, like, he is smart, he knows how to run the country, he knows what he's doing. He just has quite bad methods at times, he has different methods. And you see how he cares for some of the people in Pan Am and stuff like that. I always found that really interesting. And they're really done well with it. I've already mentioned about the ending. The ending was really well done, apart from like when it went Lord of the Rings on us. So they wrapped up the love triangle really quickly, which was quite weird. I remember that. Because they made this throwaway joke, and I was like, oh, okay, why are they doing that? They've just spent like half the film on the love triangle, and then they throw away the love triangle within seconds. They literally spent 30 seconds on ending the love triangle, and you're like, what's going on? Shouldn't you at least be a bit consistent? But I didn't care that much, because at least it was over. The ending is really well handled. I keep mentioning the ending because I think the ending's really good. I do like how dark the Hunger Games films get. They really do go for it, and I sometimes wonder if it should be rated higher than it actually is, because it really is brutal. It's dark, it's brutal, it kind of makes you uncomfortable at times, and I really like how they do it. So I'm going to just give Mockingjay Part 2 the same thing that I gave Mockingjay Part 1, which is a 7 out of 10. It has really good moments. It focuses a bit too much on the love triangle, but I feel like it kind of realised what it'd done halfway through, and yeah, I respect it. I think it's a good film. I'll probably still buy them. At least they're better than the first Hunger Games, even if they do focus on the love triangle a bit too much. I'd say both of them together would be really good if they just condensed it a bit more and not like went for the whole let's make a big epic two-parter film. It would have worked just with one. That would also allow them to just ignore the love triangle, which kind of comes out of nowhere. They could just wrap it up in 2 seconds like they've done at the end of this film. Let's explain what's going on, because you're probably wondering, why haven't I done reviews for a while? Well, I've been busy, really. That's really all it has been. I've been working on our stuff. If you've already noticed that I had that Shadows thing that I've done, that required a bit of planning. I've just been busy with a lot of stuff that's been going on. I've been writing for that A World Full of Superheroes, which I announced recently in the Shadows video, and I still need to do a video on that. And also I have been writing the 2012 script. So yeah, A World Full of Superheroes has taken priority. Then 2012, I've been writing that. Yeah, I never lost interest in a reviewing or anything like that. It was just, I never really had time. So I should be back to reviews at some, properly. I don't know when I do it, because most of the time I don't have that much opinions on films that I feel are worthwhile making a video on. Also, spoiler reviews, I need to get that together. I'm going to be doing spoiler reviews for the Star Wars films on the run up to episode 7. And yeah, as always, remember to like and subscribe, and I feel like asking you a question. Do you feel that the love triangle was necessary at all? Do you feel that it was trying maybe too much to copy Twilight? In the comments you can write it away. I've never said that before, probably will never say about that in the comments, write it away thing, that's never going to become a thing. So yeah, see ya. See ya. What the hell? Did I do that? I don't know, it felt a bit too natural.